It's me, it's Mike Lepre, King Mike L, here with legit fantasy football, legit fantasy sports, the website, the different YouTube channels, the podcast on Anchor, the podcast on iTunes, the podcast on Spotify. Okay, all of that stuff. Here's what we need to talk about today. This is what needs to be talked about today. Today, we need to discuss something that maybe not everybody likes. I don't know. But let's start off with this. Doug Peterson deserves a beating. A good old-fashioned garbage can James Conn beating. A De Niro today. Today. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, all right. So, yesterday was January 3rd in the year 2021. Now, you know, I'm used to 2020. It was like a shit show. We all know that, right? It is what it is. Excuse my French. And I'm sorry if I'm yelling, but I'm actually a little bit aggravated. So, in 2021, you figure, things will get better. But it seems like they just did stuff in front of us the other night. And that's that. Look, the Philadelphia Eagles threw that game against the Washington football team who has no right to be in the playoffs. No right at all. That game should have never went down that way. And we beat you twice. We won twice against the football team. I'm sorry. I need a drink. I'm that angry. Here's this. You have to change your team name. You're one of the biggest owners in the group of owners, right? That whole thing comes down. The name change has to happen. You're furious about it. You're claiming you're losing money. You had to spend more money to rebrand this, that, and the other. Wouldn't it be great if they gave you a little playoff run? A little extra income, Do I sound crazy? Yeah, a little, but I believe it starts from the top to the bottom. Now listen, the reason that the Giants didn't make the playoffs is this. We did our job. We beat the Cowboys. Did we look great? No, but Danny Dimes looks good. He throws them in great spots. If you give him enough time, right? That's his big thing. And I was watching him. The clock in his head was working a little bit better. You got to admit that, okay? Made some beautiful throws. The offensive line is coming together. You got Thomas. You got Lemieux, who beat out Hernandez at left guard. You got I'm not even Gates. I don't want to say Gates' name, but Gates. I love Gates. He's playing center. Every time you hit one of his guys, he comes over and starts a fight with you. That's what you want in an offensive lineman. The quarterback gets hit out of bounds, or a wide receiver gets hit out of bounds. Who did you see coming over? Nick Gates, shoving somebody, getting into it, right? I think there was 2 flagrant penalties against the Cowboys, and they both were against Nick Gates, somebody whacking Nick Gates because they just don't like Nick Gates. Not both of them. I'm rambling. So listen. First of all, the Eagles sat everybody for this game. All right, everybody. If they lost this game, they went from the 9 pick, something like that, 10, whatever, to the 6 pick. They wanted to get to that 6 pick. All right. They watched the dominoes fall. They sat Fletcher Cox. It was like Derek Barnett. I get names here. Dallas. Is Goddard? I pronounced his name wrong. Deshaun Jackson, Jordan Mailata, Miles Sanders, Jalen Mills, and then Nickel Rui Coleman. Nickel, whatever you want to call it, however you want to put the pronunciation. Listen to me. They sat a lot of people. Why? Were they resting them for their big playoff run that's coming ahead? No. That's the answer. You want to know why that's the answer? Because the Eagles absolutely suck. They've always sucked. They had that one friggin' run where they got to the Super Bowl and they got to realize that if you punch Tom Brady in the mouth, he doesn't like to respond, right? So they finally win a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback and all that ridiculousness, right? It's look, I give props for the fact that you have a Super Bowl, all right? Hey, good for you guys. But to me, that Super Bowl is, forget about it. It's a crock of shit. Listen, what else do I got to say? You actually put up a statue of Doug Peterson and Nick Foles. That's what you did, Philly. You put up a statue after one Super Bowl. You won one friggin' Super Bowl, and you had to put up a statue of that coach talking to Nick Foles about the trick play that he's about to run like it's some friggin' big deal. Like it was some play that blew our minds and we couldn't believe. You've always sucked. You sucked all the way back to 1980 when you got beat by the Raiders in the Super Bowl. Sucked. Your Ron Jaworski suck. That's how bad the Philadelphia Eagles are, all right? Now, here we go. Jalen Hurts is playing, right? Kid they drafted, in the second round. It was kind of a shocker for you dum-dums, right? Because you thought you had Wentz. The ginger, Wentz. You thought you had him. But you know what happened? Nick Foles won that Super Bowl for you, and then you built a statue, you jerks, right? He left, signed big money. Ugasangab. That's what he's done, all right? Then you draft Jalen Hurts in the second round. You know what signal that sends to Carson? It sends a signal of, you're done. You're done here. Wrap it up. That's basically what you're telling them. Now, last game of the season, no one's playing. I don't know why. Again, I don't know why. Are you resting people? Do you not want to see people play so you can make decisions about them? Do you not want to do that? Or do you want to rest them? Make sure that they don't get hurt. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You going to rest a football player? You're going to rest an offensive lineman, a D lineman? Don't these guys just want to play all the time? Isn't that what don't you want to play? Okay. So they rest all these guys. I don't know why. I don't know why a team that sucks thinks they deserve the right to sit people and rest them for that last game. You make every one of them goddamn get out and play because they did so bad this season. They owe it to the fans to get their asses on the field and play a real game. That's why Coughlin wouldn't rest the Giants when we played the Patriots. After we played the Patriots. Before we played the Patriots. That's what I'm trying to say. Coughlin didn't do that. No. We played. You play. You play too. Listen. So Jalen Hurts, he's playing. Throws an okay ball, I guess. I'm not impressed. You know what I mean? He's no Daniel Dimes. But when he's on the move, when he's running, stuff's happening, kid's really good, right? He's good in that sense. A lot of stuff happens. He makes stuff happen. So they're in the game the whole time. They're winning at one point. They're close. It's a close game. So it's the third or whatnot, who, not, where, towards the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, whatever. And they're down at the 3. They get all the way down to the football team's 3. And it ends up being first of all, the plays that they ran up the fourth down were all keeping Jalen in the pocket or making him hand off in the pocket. What I'm trying to say is, with like 3 yards or less, they have this kid who, when he gets the ball as a running back, is electric. And the idea that he could, I figured you, I hold on to it, IPO, is unbelievable. So they end up going for it on 4th down. Now, they're down by 3, but they decide they're going to go for the touchdown on 4th and 3. Why? Is it that, the season's over, so why don't we just give it a shot for shits and giggles? Is it B, we've been working on this situation for a while. We keep saying in the locker room, what happens when it's 4th and 3? You're down by 3, and, it's like in the 4th quarter, what do? Well, you obviously go for it. Anybody who comes up with those kinds of stats, right? About, in this position at this time of the daylight, if the sun's this high, if he's wearing the red shoes, like the 28% shows that you should be going for it. Like, those type of stats suck. I want to grab all those stats and burn them down, because they don't connect with sports. Okay. You go for it, you jerk. And what do you do with Jalen Hurts? Where do you put him? How is he on 4th down? He takes a snap and you make him stay in the pocket. He stayed in the pocket. There was pressure, of course. Did he take off? No. Stayed in the pocket, rolled, try to find somebody. You dumbasses. First of all, you don't go for it there. You tie it up on 4th down. That's what you do. That if you're really trying to win a goddamn game, and here's the thing, jackass, if you're not trying to win the game and you're really trying to tank it, then you better let everybody know, especially the offensive linemen and the D linemen that are out there getting their faces whacked for 60 minutes. You understand me? Like, if they're out there busting their humps and they're playing hard, some of these guys, and some of those guys were, man, they were taking it serious. There was like some altercations on numerous occasions, right? Negates. My point is, if they're going to play that hard and you're going to throw it, you need to let them know so they'll ease up. Why not let them ease up? Why not rest and save the players? Why not let them rest up too? Just, if you're going to call it, jerk, just call it. Tell your team. But be honest. Don't make them go out there and then you just keep throwing them in situation after situation when they can't win. They're out there getting killed. You piece of junk, you dope. You absolute dope. Well, my thoughts were I was just gonna we just wanted to punch it in. We just punch it in. We're that type of play with fire type combustible, anything can happen anytime type of offense. You absolutely suck. So they go for it on that 4th down, right? Right? No, keep in the pocket. They don't make it. So now I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, what's going on now, right? But it gets better or worse. They get the ball back, whatnot, whatever. The maroon team does what the maroon team does. And then they get down. They get the ball back. And there's another quarterback running it. And I'm thinking to myself, did Jalen get hurt? Did he? And no, he's on the sidelines. At one point, if you're a lip reader, which, I can somewhat lip read, he said, like, what the F is this guy doing? Is what the F is this mother effer doing? But I didn't want to add the extra mother effer, but I just did. And my feelings and my sentiments exactly, Jalen. He puts in, so Doug Peterson now puts in for the 4th quarter, Nate Sudfeld. Yep. Nate Sudfeld. Why? Because, Collinsworth and Al Michaels made sure to tell us the Doug Peterson said in the pregame interview, I plan on putting Nate Sudfeld in there for a bit so I can evaluate him. Now, I don't believe that he actually said that. And if he did say that in that pre-thing, that was a bullshit line to set up this. And the minute he said that, right? If I would have known, that he said that, so they interview him, right? Where does that go? Collinsworth holds on to that info till Sunday because it would be better if he told everybody what exactly was said, because the minute I would have heard I'm going to be trying out and checking out Nate Sudfeld, I would have thrown the house against the Eagles to win. Because what? Listen. Nate Sudfeld, okay? He was drafted in 2016. Not this year, not last year, not the year before that year. 2016. By who? The Washington Redskins. In what round? The 6th round. The overall 187th pick. Nate Sudfeld. He's been in the league for what, 4 years? And you don't know what you have in him? You need to try Roger Rabbit out? This dude comes in with the biggest Mickey Mouse type hands I've ever seen on a quarterback with his stupid white gloves, right? The way that he was putting his hands to receive the snap looked like he's never played football ever in his life. Am I wrong? Like the minute he did this, I went, has he ever played? Has he played the position? Because that's a big deal. He's got to play the position, right? To know how to play or be put in the game. There's things on the line here. People they're playing hard. And then Nate Sudfeld comes in. And he doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. And his hands look like they're just too stupidly big. That's exactly what I thought when I saw him. And then on like a 3rd down, when there's the game's going, there's a little bit of pressure, Dum Dum just fires it up in the air. I mean, he threw the ball up in the air. Who is Nate aiming for? How did Nate think that ball was going to land when you throw it straight up in the air, right? Like you're whacking at one of those pinatas and you're hoping candy falls your way. You're not going to drop a dime, Nate. You're dropping a deuce. Like, literally, that's what you did. Interception. It's like, geez, what are you doing? What are they doing? They're throwing the game. They're throwing the game, right? The football team comes back out, and they're just maroon again. Just maroon. Nate Sudfeld goes back in the goddamn game. Yep, they put him back in the game. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, why do they have him in the game? And then I'm thinking, at the same exact time, why are his hands so white and big? They look like Mickey Mouse's hands. So, oh God. He snaps the ball. I'm guessing that Nate yelled hike. I know a lot of guys will say stuff like, Omaha, which means right on the next count. Let's get it going. Let's get it out. Let's get it hot immediately. Let's get it going. Then there's different beats. I'm willing to bet you, though, that Nate Sudfeld says, ready, set, hike. Like, I'm willing to bet money on that. That's his cadence and exact words that he uses. So he calls for the snap, and the ball is somewhat low, but the problem is I got to watch my blood pressure. The problem is his stupid white gloved hands could not catch the ball. His Wally World hands couldn't catch the ball, and it was a fumble. And then who picks it up? A little bit of more rub in there for the Giants, for all of us on our wounds. Chase, of all people, Chase. So that's two turnovers. So I'm thinking maybe they make one last run in the last couple minutes because it's still close. It still ends up being down only by 6. And then Nate Sudfeld's still on the field, and he's throwing like cross patterns. He made one first down completion. And when he was calling people into the huddle, it looked like just like a little kid. He had barely like the red mustache. It's just awful. It was god awful. So, Mr. Peterson, you purposely threw a professional game. It's on tape. It's there. What is the difference, sir, from what you did and what cheating is? Cheating in the sense of you should be punished. You should be penalized. Something should be done to Doug Peterson for throwing an actual game and causing one franchise to go to the playoffs and another to not. Okay? That's what he did. He caused the fate of 2 professional teams, 3 considering his own, right? Where does he get to do that? Why would you not play your guys? Did you see how angry the offensive linemen were? Did you see how mad they were? It was a joke. Why were you playing Nate Sudfeld? Don't even tell me it was to see what you had. The kid's been there for like 3-4 years. Why wouldn't you play Jalen Hurts, the rookie, and see what he can do in the last couple of minutes of a really, really big conference game, right? To knock that team out of the playoffs. Are you kidding? The Eagles got a chance to knock the football team out of the playoffs. The Eagles that I knew, the Reggie White Eagles, would have knocked them out of the playoffs. Doug Peterson throws that game completely from start to finish. I could not believe what he did at the end. It was so blatantly obvious. So blatantly obvious that he's allowed to do that. Why? So, as much as I don't like this person next, Tom Brady, he gets in the kind of trouble where he's smashing his cell phone and destroying all kinds of records. Why? Because he liked a football to be a little lighter than normal. He wanted a little less air in a football than is allowed. So therefore, that cheating ended up costing him a first-round pick? That franchise has been the only franchise that's lost 2 first-round picks because of cheating on 2 occasions. That's another story for another time, but that's just true. So why the hell would you not charge the Eagles with the first-round pick after this? They threw that game. He deliberately didn't try to tie the game. He deliberately didn't try to win the game. He did not put the best available product on the field for the fans. So he failed in every asset, every stage, every whatever you want to call it in football. He blatantly cheated. He cheated the fans. He cheated the ownership. He cheated his players. How could you even look the players in the face? In the face, you piece of garbage. You really are a piece of garbage. I mean that so much. You know what? Seriously, Doug, if you want to do one of those celebrity things, I'm down, my friend, because you deserve a beating. All right? You do. I don't wish any harm on you. You understand that. This is all sports. But you deserve a beating. There's a difference But you probably wouldn't know that because you don't know sports, obviously. You don't understand sports. You don't do that in the fourth quarter like that. You don't do that to your fans. If that was the head coach of my team, the New York Football Giants, I'd be pissed. Pissed. If the Giants threw a game, which would never have, if the Giants just blatantly threw a game like that, so another team could go, I'd be like, bitches. For real, I ain't going out like that. Let them go out like that. You, my friend, are garbage. You cheated. You cheated the New York Giants out of a chance at the playoffs. Now, were we going to go far in the playoffs? Maybe, maybe not. You know, we're really young. You never know. However, the New York Giants, what we usually do is when we get to the playoffs, we just kind of get hot and go. We're the only franchise in the NFL that's won one Super Bowl in all of the last 4 decades. In the 80s, in the 90s, in the 2000s, and in the 2010s to the 2020s. We've won a Super Bowl in all those decades. This is the next decade. So what I'm saying is, we would never throw a game like that. And shame on you. Shame on you. And would you come up with a better excuse, a better lie than you were trying to check out what you had in Doug Peterson? You have a statue out front of a backup quarterback that the next year cashed in with the Bears and then just shit the bed because he just can't be a starting quarterback. And you also have on this statue a coach that blatantly cheated and threw a game on national TV on a Sunday night. Yep, that's your statue right there. I hope you're happy with that one, because if I get the count correct, you guys got a statue of Doug Peterson, Nick Foles, and Rocky Balboa. Joe Frazier? No. No. Reggie White? No. So listen, you got your 6th pick. I hope you're happy with yourself. All right? I really do. I really do. I hope you're happy with yourself. But I'll tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this, my friend. You know, the Redskins do look good as far as their defense and how young it is and how just they look good. That defensive line, yeah, is brutal. I'll give it to you. That's a really strong defensive line. However, somehow Evan Ingram made the Pro Bowl from the Giants, and I gotta be honest, guys, I don't know how he made the Pro Bowl. And I'm not jumping on this just because it seems like everybody's jumping on this. I've been saying this for so long, and I got so many people that can validate. I've always said he can't catch. I have him on my fantasy team. I've had him. He's a keeper. I've kept him for like 2-3 years because there's so much potential. He's so freaking fast, right? And tough to bring down once he has the ball. But therein lies the problem. He's got to catch the ball. The ball beats his hands up on a regular basis, right? I don't know how he made the Pro Bowl. I kept saying, and I always talk to my son, Junior, and I'm saying to him, all 3 of our defensive linemen should have made the Pro Bowl. I can make a case for Dalvin Tomlinson, for Dexter Lawrence, and definitely for Leonard Williams. Our defensive line is brutal. Matter of fact, you get a couple of linebackers in there, like an edge rusher or 2, maybe another cornerback, and you're looking at one of the most brutal defenses in the NFL, maybe the best in 2 years. If you have safeties like Jabril Peppers and now Xavier McKinney, who should have had 2 interceptions in this game. You got 2 safeties that can play everywhere. Edge, middle linebacker, cornerback, slot. They're everywhere. We have pieces that it's incredible on defense, and they're all young. And on offense, we have a young offensive line that's coming together. Lemieux is fantastic. Hernandez is going to have to figure out a way to play right guard next year, right? Right? Because what's his face is moving on, so he's going to have to play right guard. And then hopefully, what's his name from Connecticut? Was it Pert? Can be the right tackle. And then it's like a nice, happy, like Giants land, or like a brutal offensive line, right? With what if Barkley comes back? Do you sign him? Do you not sign him? I don't know, because I want to run him back, and I'm not dissing Saquon at all. I swear to God. But I just want a running back that goes forward. The Giants need a running back that takes the ball and runs forward. When Wayne Gallman was running at his best, it was running like he was stealing the ball from Daniel Jones. Like he would take the handoff and go so fast straight that he would get at least 2 or 3 yards. And here's the thing, guys. You all know this. We need 3-yard runs to start off a series. They're body blows. They're softening the team up, the other team up. You got to do that kind of stuff. You're not going to just keep throwing haymaker knockouts. Like, you got to have that first down, 3-yard run, 4-yard run, straight ahead, boom. As much as I love Barkley, his problem is he can do so much that when he gets to the line, he's got all these things that he can do, and he does that, like, shimmy hesitation, and then usually just gets stuffed because our line wasn't as good. Our offensive line could not sustain a hole long enough for Barkley to get through it, even with the shimmies sometime. So it would close up quick and he would get crushed. But with a better offensive line like we have now, just go straight, dude. You'll get 5-6 yards a clip. Every run doesn't have to be a 40-yard touchdown like thing where you jump over 4 guys and you land on like your 2 fingers and prop piece. Dude, because you've done you've done some incredible things, like things I've never seen a running back do in my life. But do you sign that guy? Like, do you pay him that much money that he's worth? Because he's worth so much money. But do you need to pay a guy that much money? Or do you just need, like what you had, a Wayne Gallman who takes the ball and runs really hard, fast and straight? And then, believe it or not, they found the perfect handcuff for Wayne. And I couldn't even believe that he was still a running back with Alfred Morris. What Alfred Morris does is he is the ultimate hesitation. He gets a handoff, and you'll see him start to run, and it's like he almost stops and just looks. And when he sees the hole, he goes, and it's smooth. It's odd. It's like he goes, and then wham, and he's going forward, and he's deceptively quick, and he's really good after contact. He can take the hits. So it's not like he's like some, like, Warwick Dunn type back. Not that Warwick Dunn was that bad, but you know what I'm saying. So he's up there. You got Wayne Gallman going smash, 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 and Alfred Morris is that hesitation and run. Perfect, right? Just seems perfect. We just need some wide receivers. We had the 11th pick in the draft. There's like 3 or 4 wide receivers I would love to get a hold of and have them on the Giants team. One of them will be there. All right? We need to re-sign Lennon Williams and all that good stuff. We're going to have a brutal-ass team. We really, really are. Connor Coughlin's coming along. It's going to be amazing. But let me get back to this and end with this. We did not, it's our fault we didn't make the playoffs. Okay? Let me get that point. I probably should have said at the beginning of the video, but I'm angry over something that's obvious. We should have just won this division and had nothing to say about it. No complaints to make, right? I'm not crying about this. That's not the point. Like, we didn't make the playoffs. I get it, right? We should have just made the playoffs. We should have put it playoffs. Should have just put it out of everyone's reach, right? Once we put it in the hands of the Eagles, you know what I mean? Once it hits the hands of the Eagles, once this dope this moronic idiot gets his hands on a game. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so I just want, to say as a Giants fan, our future is going to be extremely bright with Joe Judge. I feel like Gettleman, if I'm Gettleman, I retire. Gettleman's had a rough go last couple of years, right? And what's more stressful than this position? And what's more stressful than the fact that everyone keeps like slamming Gettleman constantly as if like they know what they're talking about. Like, I hate to say this because it's like I'm saying it, I guess, to myself as well, but especially the big guys, the guys out of my, you make comments on the moves that Gettleman makes, like you know what you're talking about. But it seems like the majority of the moves he's made for the Giants have worked out. Think about this. Odell Beckham Jr. is with the Browns, right? Because of that, we got Jabril Peppers, who, in my opinion, if I was trading, I would want Jabril Peppers over Odell Beckham Jr. on my team. One-on-one trade any day of the week. You give me Peppers any day of the week because he can do so many things for my football team. And he's such a positive, constant energy for the team. Like, I'll take him any day of the week over Odell. And then you say Dexter Lawrence and Odell. I'll take Dexter Lawrence over Odell any day of the week. Dexter Lawrence is gigantic, but he's so fast. He really is. And he chases down running backs 20 yards down the field. And he's an incredible positive energy. So I would take both of those guys over Odell in a one-on-one situation. But the reality is we got them both. We got Peppers in the pick, which turned out to be Dexter Lawrence. And they got Odell. Gettleman did pretty good there. And Gettleman got crushed for taking Daniel Jones. Crushed. Why did he not take Dwayne Haskins? Why? Why did he not? Why? Gettleman should lose his job. How could you take Daniel Jones at that spot that early in the draft? When even, not only was it too early, this is my favorite, not only was it too early in the round to take Daniel Jones, you could have took him at the 17th spot, but if you're going to take a quarterback that early, surely you would take Dwayne Haskins, who's on the board, played for Ohio State for 1 year, played for 1 year in a system where everybody on his team was physically dominant to just about every team they ever played. So that whole one season, every team he was on, every time that he would go play another team, they outmatched him man to man. It was just like the pros and semi-pros. So, yeah, that's the guy, right? Meanwhile, he takes his kid from Duke, who's very Manning-esque in his ability to be not to show anything. Kid throws a beautiful football. He can run. He can run faster than he thinks he can run. He can run faster than his body actually can run. He keeps falling down. Like, he's still a baby antelope. He's still a baby antelope. This kid's got so much growth to have happen to him. And he's going to be great. I mean, yeah, he looks a little like Woody from Toy Story. And, I'm going to have a heart attack if I have to keep yelling, throw it, Daniel, throw it. Danny, throw it, Danny, throw it. Because, literally, that's what I'm yelling as I just see him standing there. And it's like you can literally see the defensive players licking their chops. And they're they get the fork and the knife for some reason. I don't know how they get on the field. And they just hammer him. He fumbles. He fumbles. It's like boom. He just fumbles. Not anyways, but he's the guy, right? He is the guy. So I don't know whether or not you sign Saquon or if you sign Evan Ingram. These guys, you could let them walk and just get guys at a cheaper value that are just going to go straight. And then as a tight end spot, it'd be refreshing. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? If it was a guy who tight end who catch the ball. Hopefully you weren't muted for too long right there. I just went through a little spot there where you guys are on mute. So, I'm hoping to God that it wasn't on mute for like an hour. But so anyways, we have an extremely bright future. We could have made a run, however, I believe in this playoffs. It's just playoffs. We could have beat the Buccaneers game 1. I'm telling you this. I'll put it this way. With the way that the Giants play defense, right? If Daniel got more like in the groove and kind of did one of those, I guess hope too much, do one of those Eli runs. But even he was, mindful of turnovers. Who can we not play with and keep it close and come down to a field goal? And maybe something happens, right? Maybe some magic happens our way. Who could have said that couldn't have happened? But we didn't make it. Ultimately, it's our fault. However, the Philadelphia Eagles last night threw a professional football game. Their coach made it so that the team could not and would not win. That is a fact. So if you're going to penalize Tom Brady for a lightly inflated ball, I'm waiting for the league to strip Doug Peterson and the Philadelphia Eagles of their first round pick for 2021. The pick that you threw the game for to jump up to number 6. You should lose. You should lose number 6. I'll start a gosh darn campaign. Lose number 6 because you don't deserve it. It should be stripped away. This is me. This is Mike Lepre, King Mike L. Legit Fantasy Football, legitfantasysports.com. Come check out the website. Listen to all the different shows that we've got for you. Have a good time. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm just gonna go walk around and keep talking to myself because I still can't believe they let Doug Peterson do what he did last night. Like, I swear to God, I was waiting for him to blow like Fuji dust in the quarterback's eyes. You know what I mean? What was his name? Dudfield. Just to make him a little worse. Have a very good night. Thank you.